This is Tennyson E Stead, writer and director of Quantum Theory, founder of 8-Sided Films. And today I want to talk very simply about the necessity of playing with your collaborators and playing with your audience. I think that a lot of entertainers today, and this is not something that was always the case, but it's relatively consistent now in Hollywood, where a lot of folks come into this town because they want to make a thing. They want to make a movie that's just exactly this way. They want to make an advertising campaign that's just exactly a certain way. And they want to put all the pieces in place so their vision is complete, and then distribute that so that they've had an impact on the world that they can quantify. And that's not what entertainment is, really. Our job is to build communities and bring people together. And in the most basic sense, that act of bringing people together and having fun with them is something you have to keep practicing all the time. So if you're working in film, if you're working in theater, if you're working in music, it's really important that you bring your collaborators together consistently and just play. Have reasons for people to come together and goof off. You know, something like, I don't know if you've been watching Smoking Hollywood, which is a very, very modest web series that I've been doing with Gerard Marzilli over the last couple of months. It's just the two of us and a camera and some stuff that I wrote, and Gerard's been rehearsing. But we rehearse it together and we work on it together, and we put it out there, not knowing if anyone's going to like it, because it's important that we just keep throwing stuff out and we maintain a sense of play with the audience. In large part, I think Smoking Hollywood is actually something we've been making for our collaborators. I don't even know if the audience has been watching, but a lot of folks have jumped on board, and we're talking about whether or not to sort of expand what we're doing with the character of David Alan Rifkin, and we're bringing other people in our community into the discussion about it. And the main thing is just to have a good time with people, make people laugh, challenge each other's perspectives on how Hollywood works, and goof off, you know, and don't take it too seriously how people react, because the point is to let them know that you're there to get a reaction out of them, and to take their reaction in good spirit and keep the community growing and keep the community changing. You've got to keep communities changing. You've got to keep the energies flowing. You've got to keep the blood pumping. And the only way to do that is to interact with people. And today, with the technology that's available, Twitter and Facebook and everything else, there's no excuse not to. So, you know, another good example, just off the top of my head, is the free movie idea stuff. I'm just writing that stuff and throwing it out there, but to prove a point, I guess, and largely just to get reactions out of people and start discussions. It's not, none of these ideas are anything I take seriously enough even to consider when somebody says, oh, you should do this with it, or oh, you should do that with it. But if they're saying that, then they're engaged, and I'll poke back just to see what else they have to say. It's important that we poke each other as a community just to get reactions out of each other, you know? And if you get good at that, then you can build a career in entertainment, whether it's as simple as podcasting or whether it's working in movies or whatever the case may be. You're starting to get a sense of how to work with an audience, and you're starting to get a sense of how to bring your collaborators in on that process. Keep the sense of play alive. It's so important. One of the things they kept telling us in classical theater was, it's called a play for a reason. Well, they're called screenplays, so play. That is the end of this blog. Thank you for listening. This is Tennyson E Stead signing off.